What up, y'all? Appreciate you showing up, hanging out, listening to my dumb ass. Like and subscribe. So, something a little different today. I'm out and about. I'm out in the world. I figured I'd go to a brick and mortar store to see about the prices, to see what's going on, looking around. Let's see. Hopefully, they don't like kick me out because I'm being recorded inside, but shh, don't tell nobody. So, we gonna dip into a non-disclosed location store. You'll probably figure it out, of course. But yeah, we just gonna go in real quick. We're gonna see what the deal is, And this, I don't know. I've been thinking about hardware and stuff. Been looking. I've been seeing videos about how you can get these adapters, these SODIMM adapters to put in your regular DIMM. And I see a lot of DDR4 on Marketplace. Whether they work or not, who knows? I've seen a bunch of 16 gig kits for $50. People like $50. I upgrade to DDR5. I was like, maybe I'll see what's up. So I don't know. So I'm walking through the computer, the video game stuff, and everything. Other prices are too high. That's not good. It's bad. The prices. Anyway, it's ridiculous. I was like, oh, let me get a cheap keyboard, $100. The cheapest one was like $69, but I'm like, yeah, I could get one for whatever, cheaper than that. They got some cool TVs, but I'm not in the mood, and I'm not in the market for a TV right now. And there's a big old TV over here. It costs $23,000. Y'all want to see it? I'll show you. It's an LG. It is right there. Oh wow, look at that Xbox. How did that happen? That was just serendipity. It's like, wow, Xbox. Look how big. Look how beautiful that is. It takes up the whole screen. So big. But yeah, that's the price. That's the price. Yeah. Yeah, nah. I'm like, that's a little too much. I mean, look, the whales, they want to buy a 97-inch for $24,000. That's on them. I mean, their cars cost over, six figures. So you figure 24 ain't nothing, right? I don't know. I don't even know what this is. What are they? It had an Xbox thing. What is that? Is that the new Fable? Is that the new Halo? I don't know what this. It doesn't matter. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this stuff goes. Xbox commercials all day. That's what you do. That's what you do. Man, you do the Xbox commercials in the store, and everybody like, ooh, Xbox, and then they go buy it, and that's how it works. I don't know. So that was my adventures into you see it there, back there. That was my adventures in the retail space. It's not looking good if you're gonna go actually to a brick and mortar, but I mean, you could just just shop online. You might find some deals, and also, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be real. You should probably just go for used, whether it's Marketplace, eBay, I mean, whatever. But I think Marketplace might be the best spot to get something local. I'm gonna look today, see about some DDR4. I might scoop up a couple of packets just to have them, because honestly, I checked yesterday, and my laptop, I didn't realize, has DDR4. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. So, I mean, I got 32 gigs, so it's cool. So, I mean, the speed isn't that much. I think it's like 3,000. It's, it's slow, but it's adequate for what I need to do. So, I'm not really gaming on it that much. So it's really for, video editing and CG stuff. I mean, the faster RAM would be better, but, beggars can't be choosers. I'm not too proud to beg, though. And then in the morning, in the middle of the night, ain't too proud to... RIP. Left eye. Yeah. So, yeah. I think this is like... you think about like the RAM shortage, if you want to, call it that or whatever, but it's really just a capitalistic kind of tweak and move for these companies. It's not really a shortage; they're just purposefully um, siphoning their product to where they make more money. So if you're a giant enterprise, there's no shortage. You could buy as much as you want. They said 40% is going to that stuff, so whatever. But you look at brick and mortars. I mean, they've been going downhill for a while, right? I went in there. There's people there, sure. It's still kind of cool to go through it, but you realize that I can get better deals online. Period. That's with everything. You go to an auto parts store. You say, "Yo, I need an alternator." That'll be $259. You go online, 100. It's like $100 less. And that goes for everything. So if it's an emergency, that brick and mortar is, and you can't wait, and you don't have Prime, it's not gonna get the next. You need it right now. Brick and mortar is the way to go, and I think that's where it still serves a purpose. But for all the things that I walked through, most of that store, and I was looking at fridges, I'm looking at every stoves, I'm looking at everything, vacuum cleaners, I'm looking at everything, keyboard, I'm looking at everything. And everything is high. I mean, I saw a keyboard for, it was $12, but I think that was not the right price. I don't know what that was for. But $40, $30, I think it was the cheapest one. And it was trash. It didn't come with a mouse. It was just like a Bluetooth. So, we look at all these things, and right now we're just like, oh, the gamer's it's hard for the gamer. Squealy. It's hard for the gamer because, oh my gosh, all these prices. But you realize that it's not just the gamers that's going to be affected. It's not just us, the users. It's not just the computer guys who want to buy and build computers. The brick and mortars are going to be affected too, because the prices go up there too as well. They have their markups, but at the same time, it's like, oh, nobody's going to buy this here because nobody's going to buy it anywhere. So they have all this inventory that they can't move. Now, maybe you'll catch a deal here and there, but you got to be on it. You got to keep going, keep looking. And at the same time, also, it'll always be higher than, online. Always be higher than marketplace. It'll always be higher than something like that. So, yeah, it's like I said, we're gonna all automatically balance out. The equilibrium will happen. It's just a matter of like, are you patient? Can you get through? Can you get by with what you got now? And that's what you got. You got to evaluate what you got, what you need. I've seen a lot of videos recently. People are like, "Yo, this is how you build a PC off of Temu for $200," and or you see a deal on like a used PC that has DDR4. Now DDR4, even though it's not like DDR5 or 6 or 7, whatever, it's not as fast. It's not like 4800. But look, if you can get 3000, 3200, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? Get that, you get by. You could get 32 gigs of DDR4 for maybe $100. You could definitely get 16 for $50 because it's all day long on marketplace. Like I said, I'm about to buy a couple of kits, and then I just gotta find. I have motherboards that take DDR4, so it's like it's not a big deal. I can just slap, but boom, boom. So in that respect, there is going to be kind of a not a regression, but I guess it is kind of a regression of like the advancement of technology or what a lot of people are using. But I think also the majority of gamers they don't have DDR7 or DDR6 or DDR5 even. Those are the enthusiasts. Those are the guys who are building $5,000 rigs or $3,000 rigs. That's not everybody. Everybody just got, they got the 3090 or whatever. They got a 3080, a 3070 or something like that. Maybe a 4060, something like that. They rocking a couple of year old PCs. And that's fine because they're not trying to do 4K 60. No PC gamer that I know that plays is trying to do 4K. Nobody. That's all marketing for all these companies like, oh, we can do 4K. Nobody wants to do that. You look, Steam has the data. They say, yo, people are doing 1080p, 1440p if you want to be nice. And that's where I think the sweet spot is. You go 1440p, and with all this upscaling bullshit. See, that's the problem with these devs and especially NVIDIA. They're bad. They have single-handedly changed the course of like technology and computing and stuff, for better and for worse. For worse in their business practices and what they're pushing. They're pushing this AI upscaling, which inherently isn't a bad thing, but it is causing these devs and these companies and these publishers to use that as a way, as a part of their pipeline, instead of making the game at a certain resolution and saying, boom, this is the best it can be at this resolution. Best it can be at 1080p. Best it can be at 1440p. Best it can be at 4K. They're not doing that. They're saying, oh, we're going to upscale it anyway, so we'll do it at 1080p, blah, 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 and then upscale it, and then we can say it's 4K or whatever. Instead of doing those things and saying, oh, it's at 1080p, it's super good at 1080p, you get all these frames, but they're not doing that either. They're like saying, oh, it's 1080p 60 upscaled. And I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to, if you're giving me 1080p and I got a 5090, you better give me 1,000 frames per second. You know, what are you doing? It's so backwards, man. And the culture of development, for the most part, is to use the FSR and the DLSS and these upscalers as like the final step to make your game run smooth. Instead of optimizing it the way that they use, like say, let's optimize it without using these upscalers. And then when you slap the upscaler on top of it, oh my gosh, I got 5,000 frames per second or what? I mean, you know, that's overkill, but still, it's better to have that foundational performance than to have shitty performance and then, oh, we're gonna slap FSR and then boom, it works now, good. Look, frame generation, like, oh my gosh, frame generation is like the worst thing ever. It was bad when they had it in TVs. They still have it in TVs, but they call it auto smoothing or smooth motion, whatever the hell they call it. Everybody has a different terminology for it. And I hated it on TV. I'm like, that's ugly. I don't want to see no soap opera movies. I'm sorry. I went to see The Hobbit in 48 frames. I was like, this is the worst movie I ever seen. And it wasn't the worst movie. It was just the 48 frames was just like, nah, B, no. And I'm like, they're doing that on TVs and everybody's getting used to it. And the bad thing about it is like, it's like smoothing, and then it doesn't work all the time. It's like stuttering and it's stopping and it's like smooth. It's not smooth and it is smooth. I'm like, my brain's like, I just put it on, just turn it off. just turn it off. Anyway, sorry for the rumble around. I appreciate you hanging out, Sean. Like and subscribe. I know this one's a little different, but you know, I figured we'd do a little field trip today. And yeah, we'll get back to the regular scheduled program in a few. But I appreciate. I'll talk to you on the next one too.